us how one leaked key can destroy your entire organization or entire company.
Data is the destination, access is the vehicle. Without access, most valuable data remains protected. Because now the attackers isn't behaving like an attacker, they are behaving like a legitimate user. Because security systems are generally very good at detecting attacks, they are much less effective at detecting trust abuse. I think for the next world war would be all dependent upon data, I think.
And welcome back to Secure App. As always, this is your host Endos Kunal, and today we are back with a new episode of Quantum Security Series. And with me again, we have Rahul Kumar, who is the product head of Quantum Vault. We will move further with him, but let me just introduce myself. I am Kunal Chaudhary, Assistant Manager, Marketing at Secured App. And today's topic is very much interesting because today we are going to discuss how one leaked key can destroy your entire organization or entire company. So, to discuss more on this, we welcome Rahul. So, Rahul, how are you, my friend? And tell us how it's going.
Hi Kunal, thank you for the warm welcome. And honestly, this topic will deserve for more attention than it receives because when people think about cyber attacks, they often imagine sophisticated malware, nation state actors, advanced persistent threats, and even Hollywood style hackers smashing through digital defenses. So, but many of the most damaging breaches in the world begin with something far less dramatic. A mistake, a
Abs-
shortcut, a credential exposed where it should never have been.
Absolutely, absolutely. So, Rahul, let's start with a simple question. Why are attackers so much obsessed with credentials? Most people assume that hackers want data, customer records, financial information, intellectual property. Why are keys more valuable than the data itself?
Well, because attackers understand something many organizations forgot to do it. Data is the destination, access is the vehicle. Without access, most valuable data remains protected, and with access, almost everything becomes possible. Think about a bank vault. You have two choices. Option one, spend months attempting to drill through a reinforced steel walls. Option two, someone accidentally leaves the vault on the nearby table. Which option would you choose? So the answer is obvious, the key. Every single line, attackers think exactly the same. Why spend weeks attacking infrastructure when a credential gives immediate access? Why break encryption when you can use the encryption system exactly as intended? Why force entry when legitimate entry is available? That's why credentials have become one of the most valuable assets in cybersecurity because credentials don't simply provide access, they provide trusted access, and trusted access is incredibly powerful.
Absolutely. And that's the distinction many people miss. There is a huge difference between attacking a system and authenticating into it.
Well, exactly. When organizations invest in cybersecurity, they often focus on keeping attackers out firewalls, endpoint protections, network monitoring, threat detection, all incredibly important. But a leaked credential changes the equation completely because now the attackers isn't behaving like an attacker. They are behaving like a legitimate user. The system sees valid credentials, valid authentication, valid permissions, and even everything appears normal. And that's where things become very much dangerous because security systems are generally very good at detecting attacks. They are much less effective at detecting trust abuse.
So, from an attacker's perspective, Rahul, a leaked key is essentially an invitation for them to hack and get into your data.
Well, it's even better than an invitation. It's a shortcut. Imagine if you are trying to enter a secured office building, you could spend hours attempting to bypass security controls, or someone could hand you an employee access badge. Which is easier, the badge? The same principle applies in cybersecurity. A leaked credential allows attackers to bypass enormous amount of effort. A modern attackers knows this. That's why stolen credentials continue to be one of the most common causes of successful breaches worldwide.
And today we are not just talking about passwords. We are talking about cloud keys. We are talking about API secrets. We are talking about service accounts, certificates, tokens, and everything.
Exactly, because modern organization runs on a secrets, thousands of them, sometimes hundred of thousands of them. So these secrets are very much important, like cloud credentials, database passwords, encryption keys, machine identities, API tokens, and even authentication certificates, service credentials, and even third-party integration. Secrets are everywhere, and every secret represents trust. If that trust becomes exposed, the consequences can be devastating.
Absolutely. And the consequences can be devastating. At the same time, the consequences will would haunt the organization, would haunt the people who are involved, who are facing this. Because in my opinion, when a thing that we call is getting hacked, for example, if my account is getting hacked, I use LinkedIn, I use Instagram, I use Facebook, I use many other social media accounts. If one of my accounts get hacked, for me it is like it's my my life is getting hacked, because most of the information that I have are known to these particular centralized servers. And if these centralized servers are getting hacked, then my personal data is leaking. My bank account, my address, my we live in India, our Aadhaar identification number, each and everything is getting leaked. So to stop this, we need a product, we need a service that would help us.
Yes, absolutely. And not for, especially for today, when people, everything is run by a password or a API key or a API secret. This is very much important because if this gets leaked in future, this will really bypass a big attack in future, and which will be
And
enormous in future.
Rahul, let me just tell you one story. This is not a story, rather this happened few days earlier with my friend. His name was Sovik. So I and Sovik were sitting in my home, and he was working for his own organization. And suddenly he opened his LinkedIn, and he saw that some chats are going on. Okay, so he first got shocked. He told me that, hey, I didn't did these messages. How come these messages are being sent from my account? And a person is doing conversation. He From his account, the messages were like, we are from this company, we are going to offer you a job. And he
Mhm.
said, I am not a company, how will I offer a job to someone? And then the person who was involved in that, who was the opponent party who was involved in the conversation, he is giving his CVs, he is giving his number, he is giving his emails. And my friend, whose LinkedIn was hacked, he's getting all the things. He suddenly just broke out and tell what is happening, man. What we did instantly was we turned on our two-factor authentication thing. We changed the password, we changed email, we changed number. See, the perception is, because we were active, we got to watch that particular hack, and we did rigorous action against it. We did instant action against it. But every time we wouldn't be active. For example, if it's 4 a.m. at morning, you won't be using your LinkedIn, you won't be using your Facebook, you won't be using your Instagram. You won't be using your social media.
That's why
So
hackers are every time ahead of us. You see, if you are saying that story, the story tells us that how they are very much secretly doing those things. As you said, that those messages were sent overnight, and this happened overnight. So the data, so think about a data we can see, especially the government piece of data. If these are being stolen right now, how they will use in the future? So in overnight
absolutely, that's
they can do
bogus.
so much things, and after so many years, what they can do, just realize it.
Yeah, and they can even crack the the things that are literally kept safe, so that things doesn't get out of uh what you say, out of cover.
Yeah.
Even we saw a recent, I don't know if you saw that or not, a recent Tom Cruise movie, uh his series Mission Impossible, where there was a uh what, I'm just forgetting the name. There was an entity who was capturing the nuclear missiles of all the countries who have it: India, China, Pakistan, US, uh, Russia, China, I have already mentioned. So it was going and capturing it. So this is very, very dangerous, and this can lead to massive, massive loss of life, loss of funds, loss of uh, what you say, loss of humanity. So this is the reason HSN key based management, or what you are telling, quantum world, is so much important in our lives right now.
Yeah, you mentioned about the countries called China, USA, and also. I think for the next world war would be all dependent upon data. I think it will be all on data. You'll
Exactly,
see that
exactly.
it will be a future cyber attack which will happen around the world, and this will affect a lot of common people in India, around the world, around the globe, everywhere.
Absolutely, and I completely agree on this because, uh, see, let us take an example. If the prime minister of certain country is using, if is having certain allergies or certain, what you say, certain problem in his health, if this data has been leaked, so the neighboring or enemy country can easily track that PM, prime minister, or president, and can easily attack through chemical things, can easily attack through different kinds of different kinds of things, where people will not know that he has been attacked, and he will he will he will has to leave this world. So this is very important. Data becomes very important uh when it comes to security, when it comes to transactions, when it comes to humanity, when it comes to people. Everything depends on data.
Yeah, absolutely, because data will be the thing which will be dependent on everything. I would say whenever we go to bank or anywhere, in hospitals or everywhere, we give our data, we give our credentials, we give our everything, our data and everything. So are they safe? Because they will tell that this is safe. They are keeping the data in a very encrypted way because that's not their fault. Because the thing is that lack of knowledge which is affecting the organizations. And this is the thing which quantum world wants to give.
Absolutely, absolutely, Rahul. I can understand that. And with that, I think we can uh end this conversation here. And thank you so much for your uh so sharing so much of knowledge with our viewers. Any final words from yours end?
Thank you, Kunal. That was a great conversation because for me, I would say this is the conversation I was looking forward from many of the days because data is the thing which I think which will really be make a big impact in the world, worldwide, especially. It's not all about India, it will make an impact worldwide. So I want everyone to think about it and stay safe for the future.
Thank you so much, Rahul. Thank you so much for tuning in. And thank you so much for sharing your perspective on quantum world. Uh, we will. So, for the people watching, I hope you like this video. If you did so, please hit the like button, share this video with your friends, families, and colleagues. Subscribe to our YouTube channel, Secured App. Follow Quantum Vault, follow Secured App on all social media handles, and go and visit quantumvault.tech. It's a product not for future, for now. We will definitely see you next time. But till then, stay safe, stay secure. And as always, I say, stay ahead. Thank you so much, Rahul.